There's always a better way to do things. We just have to find it. This saying is very much proved by the most innovative mind on the earth, Elon Musk. Ranked for the second consecutive time as the most innovative man on the planet by Forbes, Elon Musk does not plan to stop evolving anytime soon. His determination transformed several industries. Elon Musk, the CEO and founder of Tesla, SpaceX, The Boring Company, and Neuralink, has big dreams for the future of humanity. With his companies, he plans to transform up to 8 industries in the coming years, and it's all thanks to his massive belief, will to learn, and take risks. His company SpaceX already is the first private company in the world to send astronauts into space. But Elon has even bigger dreams. He literally plans on going to Mars and building a colony for humans. From immigrating to America from South Africa to becoming the 3rd richest man in the world as of September 2020, the journey has not been easy. So just sit back and relax while we take you on a journey of the life of Elon Musk. Elon was the oldest of 3 children and started school a year early. His father was an engineer and his mother was a model and nutritionist. He was unlike others, a brilliant boy buried in his books, and he quickly developed a love for comic books. But when he would run out of the books, he would simply get his hands on encyclopedias. Elon showed extreme signs of intelligence in his childhood, and his hunger for knowledge didn't stop. At an early age, he developed a love for computers and programming. At only 12 years old, he started thinking like an entrepreneur and discovered that he could make video games and sell them for money. Then, one of the most considerable moments of his life was his escape from South Africa. He flew to Canada, where he joined Queen's College in Toronto, and he also met his first wife. Musk got an engineering and business degree from the University of Pennsylvania and also a scholarship to study at Stanford. He didn't go to his class, he would stay in the library reading books. This is when he laid his eyes upon the Silicon Valley, and he realized that this is where the major breakthroughs are happening. He called his brother, who was in Canada, and told him his plan to start a new company. He rented an apartment, turned it into his office, and started writing code every waking hour while sleeping on the floor of the office. They didn't even have a shower in the apartment. The internet was new back then, and Silicon Valley was a gold rush. Elon came up with an idea to bring the newspapers in the digital age. With his core programming skills, he founded Zip2, where he provided a searchable business directory that could be described as an internet version of the Yellow Pages telephone directory with maps included. Soon, many media companies started signing up for Zip2. In 1999, Alta Vista bought Zip for $307 million in cash and $34 million in stock options. Elon was just 28 years old and was now a millionaire. He could buy an island somewhere and retire and settle, but Elon was not satisfied. He wanted to create something that would create an impact on the world. He created a new company, X.com, to make electronic cash transfers possible. His company was competing with a rival company, Confinity, with which they combined and formed PayPal. PayPal had a profound effect and changed the way the world buys things. Instead of mailing checks which would take days, people could complete transactions in much shorter periods. Elon had a goal to transform the entire financial industry. But PayPal was later acquired by eBay in 2002 for $1.5 billion. Elon walked away with $180 million. This was the point when his real journey began. Elon had an interest in space exploration because it seemed a very exciting future for mankind, but was greatly disappointed to see that NASA had no plans to go to Mars and back to the moon. Elon had a vision to make humans a multi-planetary species. This vision required funds, and Elon had them, so he decided he would simply do it himself. So in June 2002, he founded Space Exploration Technologies, being the only fund provider of the company because no one else believed in a private company to go to space. With the money he got from the PayPal sale, he decided to go to Russia and buy some ICBMs. Elon flew to Russia to buy the ICBMs, but was completely baffled by the skyrocketed price they demanded. They even taunted Musk for not having the money and said, "Oh, little boy, you don't have the money?" Elon then realized that the rockets had not evolved since the 60s and that they could build rockets themselves for a much cheaper cost. He had to come up with low-cost ways to produce engines and many other parts. He read a lot of books and taught himself rocket science. He basically transformed the whole rocket and space industry. Musk was more than just an entrepreneur. Elon wanted to stop the world being dependent on fossil fuels. He had bigger plans for humanity. He approached his cousins Peter and Lyndon Rive, who had started a company called Solar City, which would be later acquired by Tesla in the coming years. He asked them to start a company and agreed to fund them and be the chairman of the company. The company expanded in 5 Western states and grew into the largest solar service provider in the United States. Solar City expanded quickly in the decade that followed, with zero down payment financing incentives and a growing sales and installation arm. With his fascinating business model, this plan was just a small part of his ambitious dreams. To make the world free of fossil fuels and make a more sustainable future, he came up with electric cars. In 2003, he founded Tesla in honor of the great Nikola Tesla. In the beginning, Musk launched his company with over $30 million of his own money. Again, the classic Elon Musk, ready to take risks. Tesla was the first auto industry startup in decades and the only one to start in Silicon Valley. Few people believed in the idea of electric cars, and to attract people's attentions, Tesla planned to launch a high-end performance electric car. Martin was Tesla's chief executive officer during the initial days. Tesla announced its first car, the Roadster. For the first time, it was possible to drive 200 miles and have a performance that was directly competitive to fossil fuel cars. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was the governor of California, showed up for the Roadster 2006 coming out party and even bought one. And so did Leonardo DiCaprio and George Clooney. Tesla was in a luxury market, but soon it had a target to provide a car for regular customers. The principal component of all electric cars are the batteries, and so Tesla had to face the challenge of having an efficient and lasting battery. The problem was that the price of making batteries skyrocketed. Elon had to decide to whether invest his rest of the money or let the company sink. By 2007, the company was running out of money and no one wanted to come up to save the company. Musk took a giant leap himself. He reanalyzed the whole Tesla business model and made changes. His board replaced Eberhard and Musk took over as the CEO. Eberhard later sued Tesla, which was later resolved through mediation. Elon Musk was more than the CEO of the company. He put his very bit of effort into the company and would work more than over 100 hours a week and was present nearly all the time in the factory, analyzing every bit of details and working on them. But his company was going through some serious financial troubles. Tesla planned to work on their next dream project of a modern family sedan, which they called the Model S, and hired Henry Fisker, who was an automobile designer. But later Tesla officials claimed that Henry came in to know their plans and was working to start his own company, which he later did. Both the companies sued each other, but the court ruled in favor of Fisker. Musk was already going through a tough time with his divorce and his company, but there was even more bad news. His other company, SpaceX, had failed in the first 3 launches to space. At this point, Elon had only enough money in the bank to support a 4th launch, or the company would have to be shut down. Only 3 days after the 3rd launch failed, he announced he knew what went wrong and released the date for the 4th launch. But then the worst economic recession hit in December 2007. It was like Armageddon in Wall Street. Musk faced the worst crisis of his career, with all his companies in freefall. The only good thing that happened during that time was that he met his second wife, Tallulah Riley, whom he married in 2010. A few weeks later, the fate of SpaceX finally took off though. The 4th launch was successful, and NASA awarded SpaceX with a $1.6 billion deal to transport cargo to space. But the happiness was short-lived as Tesla was on the brink of collapse. Musk decided to invest all of his savings to save Tesla and save the company in the darkest hours, which was not less than an act of heroism. In 2008, Tesla Motors released its first car, the completely electric Roadster, and has started working on the Model S sedan. Tesla asked the US government for funding, and the Obama administration agreed to lend Tesla $465 million, which was criticized by many. In 2010, Musk decided to take his company public. Though the company faced a lot of criticism, they raised $226 million. It seemed not everybody wanted to bet on this new crazy car company, but people did. SpaceX then launched the first spacecraft and became the first private company to successfully launch and return a spacecraft from orbit. In 2012, the Model S started rolling out, and SpaceX also became the first private company to carry cargo payload to the International Space Station. In the coming years, SpaceX continued to make history, and now is the only private company to send astronauts to space and plans to send astronauts even to Mars. Tesla has now expanded all over the US and in 2018 ranked as the world's best-selling plug-in passenger car manufacturer, both as a brand and as an automotive group, with 245,240 units delivered and a market share of 12% of the plug-in segment sales. In 2016, Tesla bought the solar panel company SolarCity. In 2017, the company changed its name to Tesla Inc. from Tesla Motors to reflect that it no longer just sold cars. SolarCity is now the largest solar provider in the US. Musk has even bigger and ambitious dreams with his new companies like Neuralink, where he plans to change the future of AI. With his passion, determination, innovation, Elon Musk has transformed and plans to change the future of humankind. Elon proved that to be successful, you need to be tough. You need to face problems as challenges and not give up. Focus on working with strategic direction and passion towards your goals. So what do you think about all the innovative companies and ideas of Elon Musk? What is in him that makes him different? Let us know your thoughts and ideas in the comment section. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and press the bell button to remain notified of our future videos. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, stay curious.